judge from San Diego has decided that an ACLU lawsuit pertaining to Trump's policy of separating children from their migrant parents can go forward. Now, this is a case that the government argued should not go forward, but the federal judge said, no, there are real concerns, real issues at play, and it can go forward. So Judge Dana Sabraw says the following, that it may violate the Constitution's guarantees of due process. So that was the reasoning behind his decision of allowing this case to move forward. Such conduct, if true, as it is assumed to be on the present motion, is brutal, offensive, and fails to comport with traditional notions of fair play and decency. But there was one argument that the ACLU made that the judge did dismiss. He dismissed a separate challenge claiming that the practice violates asylum laws. So remember, this case has to do with immigrants who come to the border seeking asylum. And in response, based on Trump's policy, those people get prosecuted, and as they get prosecuted, their children get taken away from them and they get sent to various places to be detained. In some cases, they're detention centers. In some cases, they're shelters. And it really depends, but remember, this is happening on such a wide scale now that there are limited places to place these children. Now, I'll give you an example of one case that really stood out to me. There was a case of a Brazilian who crossed with her 14-year-old son and asked for asylum, was prosecuted for the misdemeanor of illegal entry because she did not initially arrive at a designated port of entry. She was sentenced to 25 days in jail in Texas, and her son was sent to a Chicago facility. She wasn't reunited with her child for 8 months. Yeah. For 8 months. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
And you're right. I mean, Anna's so right to point to the asylum. You know, these are not people who have come here for economic opportunity. But by the way, even if they were, this treatment would be abhorrent. Right. But these are people who are fleeing war. They're fleeing persecution. They're fleeing persecution of all sorts, and they end up in this country. And the minute they cross, we separate them and we, in a sense, destroy the family fabric before they've even had a chance at this due process. So again, let's just leave the legalities aside for a moment. This is the new America, and I don't think we can be okay with it. I mean, it really violates sort of the ethical and moral underpinnings that we hope America has really been about. I really have a problem with this. And now to the legal part. I mean, this is a breath of fresh air from a legal standpoint to think that this may be deserving of court intervention.
Right, so let me read you a little bit more from the judge and his decision. He said that allegations in the suit sufficiently describe government conduct that arbitrarily tears at the sacred bond between parent and child and is emblematic of the exercise of power without any reasonable justification in the service of an otherwise legitimate government objective. So the judge is being incredibly fair there, because at the very end of that statement, he writes, service of an otherwise legitimate government objective.
Which is to protect the border.
Right, so he's saying, look, yes, we need to protect the border, but we need to do it in a constitutional way. And the way that this is being done brings up potential constitutional violations. And that violation is the lack of due process.
Right. I mean, and in this case, it's a big win. And I just want to remind folks that the history of the U.S. is a history of separating families through slavery, through the prison industrial complex, through some cases in the foster care system as well. So it's refreshing to see an emphasis on the fact that there is a sacred bond between children and their parents, especially if they're coming and seeking asylum. So I want to congratulate that. I do want to say, secondly, it is actually our duty to take these folks in, because in most of these cases, we have been responsible for the reason they are fleeing. So there was, in this story in the New York Times, Anna was reading from, in terms of the Brazilian story, there was a story of a Congolese woman who was coming in and separated from her 7-year-old child, and that child was sent to Chicago, and she was coming through the California border, southern part of the border. And what was really disheartening to me, I just had to recall that Congo is in a complete state of disarray because in 1961, we were involved in murdering the prime minister and then backing a really deadly regime, and have been, through corporations from this country, extracting all the resource wealth that is in Congo, that has led to extreme war and probably the most deaths out of any conflict since World War II. So we have blood on our hands, and the least we can do is allow people to come in. And especially, this policy, the zero tolerance policy that the Attorney General was determined to pass through, was intended to target Central Americans. And we should, if we don't already, know the history of our involvement for decades in places like Guatemala and El Salvador, in massacres, in trying to impose military interventions when countries nationalize their resources. So again, we bomb and ban, and we don't want to deal with the consequences. And so I'm happy to see the fact that we do, and there is support for it from a legal standpoint.
Absolutely. And just to give you some numbers, in the first 2 weeks after its unraveling, or unveiling, I should say, 638 parents who arrived with 658 children were prosecuted. So this is already happening on a wide scale. And we didn't know it, but the Trump administration had already begun implementing this type of policy in January of 2017. So this is going to have a widespread impact, not just on the migrants and their families, but also on us as Americans. Because remember, the whole notion of doing this is we got to save taxpayers' money, right? No, this is actually a very costly thing. And I don't really care that much about, taxes versus what this is doing to people's lives.
Right.
But if you are supportive of this because you think it's saving the government money and taxpayers' resources, that is not the case. We are prosecuting them. That takes resources. We are detaining them. That takes resources. We are imprisoning them. That takes resources. So,
she said it. She said
true.
all of
I
it.
mean, it's a money-making scheme. It's hateful and it plays into his base. But more importantly, this is something that's been supported by the private prison industry.
Right.
It makes so much money for these private prisons. That's the reason why their stock prices shot up as soon as he got elected, because they knew that he would implement these types of policies.
Yeah, for sure, to support, and again, to appeal to economics versus the human condition or what's happening to our earth as well. So to prioritize those values is to completely disconnect from the human experience as well. And even on an economic case, it's not helping.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.